What's up, everybody? Today I am here with a very, very, very cool interview. I got my boy Mason on here. Mason actually moved to Miami a little bit after joining Closer Cartel, so I've seen him a lot more personally than I would a lot of other students that are around the world. He goes to my gym. I see him basically every day. He's like infiltrated my friend circle. He's a cool kid, and he joined Closer Cartel 5 months ago. Correct? Is what you said at the
Yeah.
gym yesterday?
Yeah.
And he had last month his first over $10,000 earning in commissions month, and that's profit. That's not revenue. That's like in his bank account, 10K. So I want to interview Mr. Mason today. Put this on YouTube for you guys because this is a great example of, I guess, like the possibilities of what sales can do for you and how quickly things can change. So, Mason, thank you for hopping on, bro. I think we start this off. I already said how much money you made last month. Start this off with where are you from and what were you doing before Closer Cartel? Like, what was life like?
Yeah. So first of all, I'm from Alabama, so had to get out of there and move to Miami. But yeah, I was in college and was doing e-commerce before. That's kind of what I started with as far as like the whole online space.
Mm-hmm.
Had some success or like results with that. I did, about 6 figures in revenue, but the main issue with that is I was like the revenue, it like looked cool and it like boosted like your feelings and your ego, but then like I wasn't taking home much profit because I had like a mentor that was taking like 50%.
Whoa,
Yeah.
what the heck?
Yeah, so he's like low key robbing me. But yeah, I ended up doing around 100K in revenue and I had maybe like 2K in my bank account. So it was like
Wow.
it was really bad. And so then that brand, like whatever traction I did have, kind of died out, and I was kind of stuck. I was like, well, I don't want to, go to college and be like that typical route.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, okay, I need to take a step back and get a singular skill instead of trying to focus on an entire business model like e-commerce, where you have to be really good at marketing. You have to know how to do product research and master a bunch of different skills to see the same
Mm-hmm.
level of success as just mastering something like sales, which is just learning how to talk to people and sell.
Yeah.
So
What
and
made you realize that? Like, I feel like a lot of people will try to focus on like, oh, this shiny object, this SMMA, this, and TikTok agency, that, whatever. Like, why did you realize like, oh, I should probably just focus on one thing?
yeah, just I mean through experience from e-commerce, and then also I had it was either you or it might have been like Ben or someone in your circle. Found them on TikTok and ended up finding your page and saw that you were like you need a singular skill set like sales before you try to do all that.
Hmm.
So that's kind of what made me realize. And then I was like, oh, that makes more sense. Then I started to make the transition. I knew that sales wasn't something that came naturally to me. I was always kind of like timid or like awkward in high school. But I knew I was like, okay, I'm getting too old to always be like that. So I was like,
Yeah.
I'll just learn it anyways, so I can get over that in my personal life as well.
So you don't have to be an extrovert, like super charismatic person to be good at sales.
Yeah, you just have to get good, like just confront.
Exactly. It's like riding a bike. Like, can different body types ride bikes? Yeah, like it's a skill, right? So that's a misconception everybody has. So how did you? Well, I know this. I want you to say this out loud. Why did you join Closer Cartel of all things? What was the reason?
Yeah, so a couple of different reasons, but just the one that I told you is I was watching the Bring the Walk to Tampa vlog, which if you guys haven't seen that, it's basically just Luke and his friend group just going to Tampa and being like degenerates. And well, the reason it was like appealing to me is like not just because like partying and stuff like that, but because I actually had a friend group back home in Alabama. It was
Mm-hmm.
like pretty similar dynamics. Like we had one Indian kid named UJ, and then had some kid named Brandon that looks like Ben, and it was kind of like an exact match. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, they're just making money together, and that just seems like so much fun.
Yeah.
Um,
No, that's awesome.
and so like I just kind of saw everyone's content in your friend group, like Mason and Ben, and I was like, well, I knew I want to go to Miami, so I was like, if I'm gonna learn sales, I'll just buy Luke's course because he's in Miami. as well.
What a philosophy to jump into something. I saw a vlog about you going to Tampa, so I bought it. Obviously that paid off well for you. So you moved to Miami, which is a pretty big deal, and I think that was a big smart play from you as well. But I remember you got to Miami, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows just because you buy a course. You know what I mean? I will say 5 months to make 10K is a great time investment, in my opinion, as far as like you were not making 10K before. What were you making before? Like a month?
Like, like revenue was like 30K. I was like, let's go. I'm like rich. And then, and in actuality, I was making like 500 to 1,000 a month, maybe 2K.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy. That's important for everyone watching. Like all these e-com guys, even agency guys, like all these different business models of people like flashing, like, look at our numbers, look how much money we made this month. Reality is not. It's not the screenshot that you're seeing on social media. It's like 10% profit, if it's good, which you were looking at like 1% profit apparently. So you moved to Miami, you're making no money. And tell me about that process. Because I remember you asking me at the gym, like, hey, bro, like, I got to get an offer. I got to get an offer. And I kept telling you the same thing, which for you is a little bit different because you're in person, you're around people. So we talked about going to the gym. Like you met Brandon Carter, right? King Keto. You met some other people. How did that journey go of sort of getting a client? Because that's the big play. You know what I mean? And you did work with a couple people and that didn't work out. So like run us through that process.
Yeah, so I mean, first of all, I definitely had a lot more pressure on me than probably the typical person that's wanting to get into sales, just because
that's why you succeeded, bro.
I took that leap. So rent's expensive in Miami, especially when you're not making money. So it's like it really made me lock in. So yeah, as far as like outreach and landing that client, the biggest thing for me has just been network and like showing people that you're hungry. So the first offer that I actually got on was because there was this closing offer that was posted in the community and Closer Cartel. And I didn't even have setting experience, but I was like, I mean, it seems like a good offer. I'll interview. And the guy like took a liking to me. He just wanted to do a second interview to do a mock call. And so I didn't know what I was doing. So I showed up to one of the coaches, Nehemiah's call, and was like, hey, like I don't know what I'm doing, but I need to get this interview. So he ran it through with me, and one of the guys that was on that mock call, he just saw that I wanted it, saw some sort of potential in me, and afterwards he was like, hey, like if you don't get that job, I have something that I can get you on. And ended up not getting the interview just because obviously I didn't even have setting experience, much less closing experience. But yeah, I ended up getting on that offer, and it was a good first experience. To start out setting, phone setting. It was good to learn the ropes. Funny enough, the owner actually lives 4 floors above me, so it's just kind of like everything kind of just aligns when you like put in the work.
Yeah.
So that was good. That was the first offer. Went through some other ones, just wasn't, it was good to gain experience and like kind of add it to your resume because, that does matter, especially if you don't have a network of people that can, refer you to people.
Yeah.
So just stacking up big names that are well known in the space, being like, hey, I've worked with these people. And then essentially I just kept doing that until I found a good offer.
And that's the game, bro. And what I want people to understand is like, what's the alternative? It's cool. It took you 5 months, took you a lot of effort, hard work, trials, whatever. And people will be like, oh, that's hard. Whatever. It's hard work. What's the alternative? You go to school, you get a job, you go work construction, you go work a 9 to 5. It's the same thing. You're just picking a different vehicle. You know what I mean? Which for you, that obviously paid off. So tell us a bit about, you don't got to say the name because I like to keep like the clients anonymous, but what are you selling and what are you projected to like make going forward? Like, was this month a fluke or was this like, oh shit, I'm now a 10K a month earner? How old are you?
I'm 20.
I'm 20 years old and I'm making 10K a month and I live in Miami. Like what? But walk us through that a little bit.
Yeah. So I had to like was going through clients, still trying to find something good, then got connected through, one of the old clients that just wasn't working out for me to another one. And so that was an appointment setting position for DM setting.
Mhm.
And so that kind of kicked off for me. It was making decent money, enough to pay rent, which is what I was stressing about. Because, just for context, I had paid 6 months worth of rent in advance, and that's like all I had. So last month was like the fifth month, or fourth or fifth month. So I was like really anxious and nervous. So that paid the rent, was making like 2 to 3K. So it's like good. But then this last month, I got connected through that offer to the one that I'm on right now. So I'm selling e-commerce, which is kind of perfect for my situation, which is how I also landed, previous clients, is because I've actually done this before. So just kind of a little lesson in there that, like, even if you don't make that first 10K or whatever through your first thing, it can be beneficial in the future.
Absolutely, dude. Absolutely. Especially in sales. Like if you're a fitness guy, you go sell a fitness offer. You're an ecom guy, you go sell an ecom offer. I can tell too from the first time I met you, your facial like expressions and your tonality and your confidence has improved. Like you were a little goofy, awkward kid when I first met you, and it's gotten a lot better already. Like I can 100% tell you that as well, which is phenomenal. What would you tell obviously, like, you're in the program. I'm sure you like it, but what would you tell everyone that's watching these videos and is like, I'm try it myself. I don't even know if I want to do sales. Maybe I'll go try ecom or whatever. Like, the situation. Like, what would you tell that kid as far as not just us, but in general, like good advice for them?
Yeah, I would just say, like, one, like, sure, you can go try it on your own, but ultimately you need to realize that, as long as you have like some sort of job, or you're at least trying to make money, you can scrape up like 2 to 4K to, invest into a teacher. And even if, even if you invest in something that doesn't work out, it gets you emotionally invested into the game, and it's going to keep you, doing that until you succeed. Um, but I guess, like, as far as Close Your Cartel in specific, like, that's, I made like 3 times that just last month. And just for context, I was only closing the last 2 weeks of last month. So this month I should probably make around that 18 to 20K.
Sheesh. That's crazy. This got to be a clip. 20-year-old moves to Miami, makes $18,000 a month from his laptop. That's crazy, bro. I wasn't doing that at 20. What was I doing at 20? Actually, yes, I was. Sorry, I take that back. I was doing that. I'm trying to. The years have blended together, but that's insane, bro. So your second or your first full month closing, basically, because it was 2 weeks, you're going to make almost $20,000 profit.
Yeah,
and that's profit in the bank. That's not like bullshit numbers, right?
Yeah, feels a lot better than revenue when it hits your bank.
That is absolutely insane, bro. Man, that's crazy. What do you have any final parting words for anybody watching this? You want to be a little inspirational for a moment?
Yeah, just, I mean, not to be too typical, but, invest in a mentor. Like we both are going to make, you were making 20K plus per month as a 20-year-old. I'm about to do it this month. So just, like, follow the patterns, like, learn from people who actually are in the position that you want to be in. And yeah, just really take advantage of, what people are telling you. Like, a lot of people will, tell you what to do, and people will just be like cynical, or like think that there's some secret sauce, when really they're giving you the sauce. They know that most people won't do it. So if you're just willing to do the boring work, the dirty work for, just like 6 months, like, just go intense for like 6 months, or even under that for my case, then you can, save yourself like 40 years of, a mediocre existence.
That's crazy, isn't it? 6 months of focus changes your life. Your life is now changed forever, which you probably realize that, but 6 months of focus, life is never the same.
Yeah.
Mr. Mason, thank you for hopping on. I think that's a banger of a interview, and I think it's going to help a lot of people. So thank you, brother. I know you got to hop on a call here, and I got to get back to work as well. So I'll see you later, but thank you. And guys, if you like these, please comment, like, subscribe, all that fancy stuff. And book a call down below with Close Your Cartel if you want to do what Mason did. So thank you, bro. And I'll see you guys next week.